It is about as hot a topic nationally and locally as anything these days. Immigration enforcement, and in many cases specifically ICE.
Joining us to talk about it now, Onondaga County District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick. Bill, thank you for being here tonight.
Always great to be with you both.
Well, let's just get started with how your relationship is with ICE right now. Do you have any dealings with them, and how is it different from, let's say, just a few years ago?
My office's relationship with ICE is very good. They're sworn officers. They do a tremendous service to this country because of a nightmare from the previous administration of having open borders. The one wrinkle that we had that precedes the Trump administration was ICE would have occasion to pick up defendants who were illegals who were let out on bail, if you could believe that, under New York's lenient bail laws, and they would arrest them and then deport them. That is problematic because the victims in the state cases are not getting justice. And I have no guarantee that somebody who's deported to, say, Mexico or El Salvador is not going to be back in the U.S. in 6 months. So we worked that wrinkle out very amicably, and it's worked up until today.
You'd say your dealings pretty much the same now as they were a few years ago,
yes.
Essentially, yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed,
okay.
Other than that, wrinkle that we worked out amicably.
You hosted a radio show on Tuesday, 570 WSYR radio. One of your guests, Governor Hochul, and I think a major topic of that and why she was on was her proposals to keep ICE from stepping onto local facilities and operations. You were at a press conference a few weeks ago with her. Why are you standing so firmly behind her on this issue?
Well, the thing that pushed me over the edge, Jeff, was the deportation or the attempted deportation of these two gentlemen from North Syracuse that my understanding is they work at Upstate. I believe it's Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hidalgo. They're in a relationship together. They own a home. They pay taxes. They're working. From everything I see, they're beloved by the people that work with them. They're the type of people that, like my grandparents who came here from Ireland, that we should be welcoming here. We didn't sign on for that in 24. We signed on to get rid of rapists and child molesters, human traffickers, murderers, mental patients that were, dumped on our shores by a pious border and a porous border. And I just think that when the governor reached out to me if I would agree with her to have a press conference in New York City, I said yes. And I stand by that. I mean, thank you for sending me the emails about how I'm happy that Laken Riley was raped and murdered. That's really not true. That's really kind of an overreaction to the position I'm taking. And by the way, it's not a radical departure from what's already been going on in Onondaga County. Toby Shelley said this years ago. Chief Cecil said it years ago. Chief Russin has followed that. We are not deputizing local law enforcement to act as civil agents of immigration reform. If we're looking for a murderer and there's a judicial warrant, you're absolutely going to get local law enforcement cooperation.
So it was the story of the two upstate hospital workers that really got your attention. I mean, that saga continues because their fight is not.
Well, I mean, the good news is they're out on bail, which is unusual. Leads me to believe that maybe somebody's looked at this and says, "We're going to send two guys from Cuba who have broken no laws, who came here, announced their presence, reported to immigration, did the right thing, paid taxes. We're going to send them to Ecuador." Maybe, hopefully, some judge in Batavia said, maybe not. Let's think about this.
Yeah. So I am also curious, then, your reaction. This is several weeks back now, obviously, to the immigration raid at the factory in Cato there, and we actually had the press conference. The U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of New York, and I'm not even sure exactly what his title. He's been in, he's been fired, he's back in. I think he's running the department anyway. At that press conference back then, he kind of quoted the president essentially that we were going after the worst of the worst.
Right.
Doesn't seem like in either case, the two upstate workers, these folks in Cato, that were really going after the worst of the worst. And you always seem to come down on the side of justice. Doesn't matter what letter is next to your name, D or R. I'm guessing that's the case with both of these and others.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for John. He's a big boy and he's a good friend and he can speak for himself. And I'm not sure how much information he had when he made those comments about Cato. What I was very disturbed about was, I believe it was Judge Sand's decision subsequent that, hey, wait, you guys didn't follow the rules. Here's what I thought you were going to do. Here's what you told me you were going to do. And if you believe the published reports, you know, agents walked in and said, okay, you know, brown, black people over here, white people over here. Holy moly, I hope that didn't happen. But I'm sure there'll be litigation in connection with that. And if it did happen, shame on those people.
As we watch scenes around the country,
Right.
The violence, the concerns, any concern, anything like that could materialize here in Central New York.
You know, this is a great community, and I think we get it. We protest peacefully. If you go back to the George Floyd situation, a lot of cities suffered vandalism, looting, robberies, arson. Syracuse, I think we had 2 arrests. 2 people in honor of George Floyd stole some sneakers from local establishments. And there was an issue with a reporter that was tackled by a police officer, and I think Chief Cecil dealt with that. So this is a lawful community. We get it. I'm not going to tolerate ICE agents being attacked. I'm not going to tolerate civilians who are peacefully demonstrating being attacked and having their rights restricted. Let's follow the rules, and you exercise your First Amendment rights and do the right thing.
Fitz, always a great conversation with you. Hard to keep this down to just 6 or 7 minutes, but I think we did a pretty good job. We're always happy to have you back anytime you want to chat about any of this.
It takes me 6 minutes to conjugate a verb sometimes, so I'm happy to talk to you guys always.
We always appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thanks,
Bill,
Christy.
thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.